So we looked in the last video about breed-specific behaviours and patterns of motor skills that you might see your dog do when they're in the predatory sequence. We talked about the fact that often it's a problem when the thing your dog wants to prey on is an inappropriate target. And we also talked a little bit about being able to give your dog outlets for those behaviours. So how do you know what your dog's outlets are? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do and observe to know this. First off, when you're out for a walk or when you're hanging around the house with your dog and they're not sleeping, see if you can observe what they do naturally. Do they just find a sniff and go after that sniff, which is the stalking and chasing part of that sequence? Are they standing still and sniffing the air? Given the opportunity, would they chase squirrels all day, every day? Would they play with dogs all day, every day? What do they naturally want to do on walks? And what do they naturally want to do when they're at home? Are they finding stuff that they can chew up and rip up and just put into lots of different pieces? Are they digging in the garden and causing you to have lots of holes in your lawn? What are they doing on a day-to-day basis when they're left on their own that might tell you what their natural outlet will be? The other time you can see it is when you're playing with your dog. So what does your dog love to play? Do they love tug games with you where it's about that game between you of dissecting the prey between you where they're tugging? Do they like to take the toy off you and shake it in that kill bite? Do they like to take the toy off you and then parade and possess it and not actually want to give it to you? Do they just like to hold it in their mouths and run around with it? What do they do when they're playing? Are they big on that grab bite? Or are there other parts of the sequence that you can see? Is it the chase that excites them? Is it the holding things that excites them? To do this, you're going to need to play with your dog. And I know that there will be some dogs where they don't play at all. And that's a discussion with me as your behaviourist to have. The other time you will see natural outlets for behaviour is when they're playing with other dogs. Now I know there will be a lot of dogs whose owners I'm talking to that aren't okay with other dogs, and that's fine, that's what we're working on. But for those of you that are, how does your dog play with other dogs? Do they want them to chase them? Do they want to be chased? Do they want to chase? Are they rough and tumble dogs where they're using their mouths a lot? Are they playing bitey face? Do they like to lie down and stalk dogs? Is there lots of body slamming and stuff going on? How do they naturally play with other dogs? And given the opportunity, what would they do with that other dog if left unattended for ages and ages and ages? So there are ways that you can determine what your dog's natural outlets are. Once you've worked it out, once you observe them over a period of 5 to 7 days in all of those contexts, make a list and then send it to me. Tell me what your dog loves to do, and then we can use it to our advantage when we're training. Either we're going to provide your dog with a different suitable outlet, or we're going to use that natural desire and motivation to train what we call an incompatible behaviour with the behaviours that you're seeing that we don't like. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm looking forward to getting your lists.